Hello and welcome to Animals Labs. Today we're at the third state of the game. We're on with Gfunk. We sat down and had like a three and a half hour conversation where we went through just some various bits on both of our accounts, got to know each other a bit more, and then thought I put this into a highlight video really. So this is the best bits. Shout out to Gfunk, who's one of the Juices Wild members. He's probably one of our higher ranked players, and I hope you enjoy. I've just finished doing Lydia.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's awesome, man.
Get Lydia going.
Lydia's amazing, isn't she?
Oh yeah, I love her.
Yeah, she's so cool. I mean, I think the most satisfying thing about Lydia is her denied. She denies that revive, and that's just such a satisfying feeling. You see that, you're like, yeah, you're done.
Yeah, it took me a while to realize it was on a cooldown. Because you do like doing the ice golem and you block them, and then like, wait, they come back up. I thought it was a full, and then I realized that it's on a 7-turn cooldown. And
yeah,
but yeah, so many times in arena, like opposing Torments, can't stand you. Oh wait, all of a sudden you're not getting back up on me. You're
right. That's awesome. Yeah, I love her. Yeah, she's definitely on my main arena team. And usually when I run in the tag team arena, that team generally doesn't lose. So I have a similar team. I just have who do I have in that slot? Oh, I use Angar in the space of Trunda. So yeah, he locks him up nicely and heads in there with some nice hits.
Yeah, I'm a full auto person for PvP, but
Oh yeah,
just let it go, bang, 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 bang.
yep.
Everyone's dead.
That's how I roll too, man. That's sweet. That
you,
is sweet.
you're saying you're using Angar then, just to. I guess he does a load of damage as well. Do you need to cease?
Yeah, he's really good because he CCs just so he's complementary to Tormund's CC, which I always, like you said, you threw him in a stun set. It's just like the ultimate CC setup, you know what I mean, with Tormund in a stun set. It's amazing. And then you use him in there and he just provokes everybody almost the entire time. They don't even get to go, basically. Oh, and then I have Hegemon as well, who I use. So he just these people don't even get a chance half the time.
No skills, no, all frozen, all provoked, and then just
Yeah,
love
they're
it.
just done. It's awesome. Yeah, so lately I feel like on my polls I've been getting all B tier legendaries. It's kind of frustrating. I'm like, I'm just still on the hunt for some of these S tiers and A tier champions, and I'm like, God, when am I gonna get someone decent that I can actually build out? Because like I'm looking at your squad there, and you've got a ton of unbuilt Legos and stuff, and I'm like, that's where I'm at with a bunch of mine too. I'm like, well, I don't even have a use to building this champion out. I'm not a content creator and making guides and stuff. So where am I going to even use these dudes?
Yeah, it's just like exactly that. Like the last one I got, my mercy was this guy, Crypt King, and I'm like, awesome.
Like, where do you use this dude?
One decrease attack, yeah, but only 60%. This one,
Yeah.
this one, no use. I saw this and thought maybe because when it's ascended, this effect cannot be resisted. So he's potentially all right versus the Frost Spider.
Yeah.
But then I've got Elenaro as well.
Right. I actually am a big fan of Elenaro. I've been using her for a long time, and I find her super useful. She was always on my dungeon teams up until I got like Bad L and some of the other big time dungeon clearing people, So I still think Elenaro's super good, especially on that Frostbiter. I think she's great for that.
Yeah, I've not yet built her out. I was trying to build champions, as you can imagine, just to gain Lydia until recently. This one. Yeah, there you go. HP bone that can't be resisted. She definitely might be worth building up for these bosses.
Yeah, she's the only other champ besides Zavia that does that poison explosion too. And until recently, her AI was absolutely shit. I mean, she would just combust and there would be nobody with a single poison on them. It would just be an absolute wasted skill. So it used to be really frustrating to run her before they put the AI fix in place. And then obviously before they updated the game with the AI customization options. But man, I've always loved her, even though she still did that, is just because she is a useful champion in a lot of different places.
As you can see, I have them both, and one of them was built, so I was like, oh.
Ah, yes. Yep. Xavi is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have her yet. I'd love to get her.
It's weird how they fall. I've got like a pair of arbiters built and stuff, working on level
Mhm.
this one up, but I can never find a space when I get a new legendary. It's do I do, this has to be something I'm going to use before I even think
Right.
about going down to it. So, for example, this new fusion guy.
Hmm.
Yeah. So this is the only reason I want to use him, which is
Hmm.
build him for Scarab. Loads of resistance, lifesteal gear. I don't even
Hmm.
need to book him. Go into the AI control and just set him to do his hit this.
As
Like,
A1 over
yeah,
and over.
yeah.
Yep, that makes sense.
Um, and because it's a 50% chance to provoke as well. The
Hmm.
magma dragon. I don't think we've got the magma dragon in this rotation, do we?
Yeah, I just beat him today. He's the first boss you come across in Hard Doom Tower. Anyway, I don't recall if he's this.
Oh yeah, he is in. Yeah, so
Yeah.
this guy, I
Yep.
don't have any keys, um, but he can be provoked. So you can just
Yep.
AOE provoke him down, lock him in place. That's
Yep.
why I'm running Tormund, Tormund and Martyr.
Yeah. Nice. Yep. I was using Martyr. As a matter of fact, on my hard team, let's see who I used. I used Martyr in the lead, Bad L. I got that Helior guy recently,
Yep.
who was one of my top recent Legos that I got, but I actually was a little pay to win on getting that guy because I got him during that guaranteed event where if you pulled, $4 million worth of shards, you could get them or whatever. Uh, so like, screw it, I'm going for it because I was always bummed out I didn't go after Countess Lix like that because
Yeah.
she's so cool, and I have Astralon, and I'm thinking, man, I should have just spent the money and got her. But no more regrets. I'm just going for it.
Falling down that rabbit hole. Yeah, I think I've got
Yeah, yeah,
Ashelon just built, not doing anything anymore. Once you do faction wars, you spend loads of time building up champions of faction wars, and then you just flood your vault with them so you
yeah.
get
I
loads of
know.
60s.
I know. It's funny because I beat Faction Wars quite a while back ago, and I had so many epics that I built out that I simply don't use anymore. And a lot. It was a hard run because I didn't have a lot of Legos at that time. I mean, I was really grinding it hard to win those battles. I mean, some of those level 21 boss fights, I would go at it 20 times before I got the perfect 3-star run. Uh,
Uh,
so it was a little crazy.
the last one I did was Undead. Um,
Hmm.
and we were sat there with Gorgorab and Rotos, and I kept killing the boss with Rotos's relentless procs or A1 procs before I would
Hmm.
revive the two guys that had gone down from Gorgorab with Gorgorab. And I
Hmm.
must have spent 3.5 hours on the YouTube with the guys. Just keep rerunning this run, keep rerunning this run. It's like this is so painful because obviously
Yeah.
you got to exit out the moment that you're about to kill her. You're like,
Right.
do I take the risk that he's is not going to kill her and use a key? And like the week before, we'd taken the risk and I'd killed her, and then I didn't have a key left, and it was just like this is.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, that's a grind, man. I mean, I've played a lot of RPGs in the day, but Faction Wars in this game was probably one of the longest, hardest grinds because you just have to build out so many heroes and get so much gear, and if you don't have the gear, then you got to gear swap and spend all the silver to do that. It's just like, oh man, it's crazy.
That's all I was doing. I think it was. I've got these two good immortal sets. Don't know what you use,
Mhm.
but I had two good immortal sets, and I've got loads of lifesteal gear I'm not using anymore because for a long time I was sat with just a counter attack lifesteal clan boss team. And so you
Mhm.
slowly build up the level of your gear so that everyone's in defense boots and going through that. And that I was it was two guys with deep life steal, two guys with immortal, and one person just as much HP as I could manage. And
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's tough, man. Some of those stages you have to be super strategic because you just don't have certain champions that you feel you need, but you just got to make do. And it's tough, man. It is super tough. I mean, my skinwalkers, we didn't have a revive champ there until recently,
yeah.
and my the shining star for that faction ended up being Rain Beast, and I had to keep one of those ads down to like point 0.1 health, and then kill him with the A2 on Rain Beast just to revive my dead champion. And I happened to get the RNG to pull it off to get my 3-star. That was
Nice.
terrible, man. That took me so long to beat that one.
See, I've got three hack and smash lords, so it was a little bit easier.
Oh yeah, man, that guy's a pain to go against, honestly, in like 3v3 arena and stuff, man. He's a tremendous healer. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, you got block revive, and I have steel skull as well. So
Hmm.
it was take the waves have taken me about an hour to do just because you don't have a lot of damage in that particular comp. But I managed to get through that one. It was good fun. And
Oh
then
man.
the hippo came out, and everyone's got easy mode, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm like, why isn't this guy around when I was trying to beat this crap? It's ridiculous.
So what are you doing now in game?
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. I mean, basically all I'm focused on are these missions to get this Ramontu Drake's Blood guy, and everything else I'm just doing the daily stuff. I mean, I have done all the faction wars. I've done Doom Tower, both iterations of it. I beat hard mode now,
Nice.
which that's a grind. Those top waves are crazy, and I even still kind of struggle. But one of the things I was gonna show you if we do a screen share is I've got a
Yep.
spreadsheet that I keep for all my notes on Doom Tower Hard. So I basically had to figure out which comps worked and which speeds worked, and a lot of that stuff was like, it's easy to forget it if you don't keep track of it. So that's kind of why I put in a spreadsheet just to kind of make sure I could just track my progress. Because now that I've done it a couple times, I can go back and say, oh, what were my times and my turns on the last time I tried it, and who did I use? Maybe I'll swap in this person and instead of this person and see how that goes. And that's half the battle now. Once you beat it, now it's trying to improve your times, right?
Yeah, definitely. Do you want to show us your that spreadsheet?
All right, so this is the official Gfunk account. Been a work in progress for quite some time. Um, I basically, initially, I used to play two accounts, and this was one of two.
Okay.
This account ended up getting better RNG, honestly, and then this became my main. So basically, I got like two Foley's right away. I got uh, Septimus right away at Elinaro very early on.
Mm.
Obviously everybody gets Syl very early on, and I just had some pretty decent luck, I'd say, getting some quality champions that I could actually use for progression.
Yeah.
And probably the best progression champ I've got even to this day. I had one of the first Legos I ever pulled was Queen Ava, and she's been my campaign farmer ever since. Gosh, man, it seems like the first couple weeks I was playing it. So she's doing campaign farms in like 6 seconds. So
Nice.
I've been able to campaign farm just nonstop, 6 seconds all day long. So just leveling champs like a beast.
it makes a big difference getting that first campaign farmer that you have.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I'm still using Skullcrown, who was basically my legendary that I got early on. Um, she ended up doing, all of my campaign farming, all of my wave clearing early dungeons and stuff.
Right.
That's amazing.
Isn't that incredible? I mean, and really that's the only place in the game I use her, you know?
Yeah.
And I even thought of going crazy and trying to build an end game version of her so that I could try to do Doom Tower waves and see how that worked out. Because I actually have a second one that I pulled recently. I'm like, when Queen Ava 1 doesn't clear the wave, Queen Ava 2 could come in and clean up the mess, you know? And I'm thinking, geez, that's got to be a fast way to clear waves. And I even have Ray, you know, so that would be an alternate to the different affinities. So that
Yeah.
would be kind of cool too. Yeah, Ray's pretty sweet. And I didn't get her up until probably 2 months ago.
Okay. I just love
You
some of
know,
the pieces you have here.
yeah, it's a pretty well-rounded account. I won't say it's whale status because I mean I don't have a Trunda, I don't have Valk, I don't have so many champions on my list that I still really, really want. But I mean, I can do everything. It's not like I'm
Yeah.
struggling at this stage. I mean, once you farm the gear up and you build it out and you know what you're doing as far as building a proper champion for whatever use they're being put into, it's not that bad. You just gotta. It's like I said, I have a ton of epics leveled up. I mean, so many because I was running through faction wars with so many of these guys, and they're just basically chilling now. I don't barely do anything, but maybe a couple of them I still have in my faction wars teams. But for the most part, some of these are just dead in the vault. Even rares. I've been leveling up my rares lately for some of these Doom Tower secret rooms.
Yeah, I saw the 5 spirit rares there. I was like, oh, I see.
Yeah, yeah, working on those, but they still need some gear love. I mean, I still don't think this guy is anywhere near what he needs to be to clear some of those waves and that hard floor. I mean, those are such incredibly hard waves. I mean, this guy just gets one shot. Basically, he's just a glass cannon. I mean, I'm like, okay, I got to get him over 200 speed. I got his crit rate up, decent crit damage. And then he just gets blasted with 30k health. I'm like, oh, okay. So his defense is trash, obviously. So he,
Yeah.
he needs some love, man. I mean, these guys all need some love.
Yeah, that wave looks like, because it's the you need to get that, was it all 12 done before you can complete this mission?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So there hasn't been a single iteration of Doom Tower yet that I've been able to clear all of the hard secret rooms. Um, so like basically I'll just show you in my portal for fragment summons. Like I'm really close to getting Rion the Conjurer. I haven't
Yeah.
had any issue getting all the normal rooms done. So I've got the two champions fused already there, and I'm almost done with a third now. And then I'm working on this guy. I've got 44 fragments for him.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, I've got Thea, and she's just chilling in the vault. I don't even know what to do with her. Um, so
Well,
it's like, I just
have
don't
you
know.
got an ally attack champion?
Yeah, oh yeah, I've got multiple. So I have my favorite's probably Kreela. She's just awesome.
Yeah, you can't be
Love
wrong.
Kreela. And so I use her quite often. As a matter of fact, I use her for my fast boss killing and some of my waves. Even at the higher level of Doom Tower, I'll use her to take people down.
It's the one fusion that I missed. I had, like, when you take like a 2 week holiday off. I'm not going to play the game. Usually comes out
Hmm.
the day after I leave, and I come back. I'm like, no, she's amazing. The fusion before
Yeah,
had been Sausage Frog, and the one after it was like Dragool, and you're like, oh my god, that's so
and
painful.
And ironically, at that time, I was playing my other account more than this one, and
Yeah.
I fused Krila there, but I couldn't fuse her on this one because I just didn't have enough time to fuse her on both accounts. And so I had to pull her eventually, and I
Oh,
was so happy when I got her. I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's like the one time you really do want one of those fusions to come out of the gold shards, you know?"
yes, definitely. I've heard that
Yeah.
if you have count allo attack into Thea with rule, you can
Hmm.
actually set it up much like the mouse mage seer combo.
Oh, okay.
So that and then they do more damage. Obviously, they got higher scaling. So you
Interesting.
use them to clear waves.
Let's go into here because I obviously I fused Rule and I have three Thea now, but let me see here. So I got Herndig. I don't even know. I was kind of thinking I was going to level him up, but I was waiting to see who I pulled over the weekend because I'm just not so excited about a bunch of these recent champions I've gotten that I'm like, I gotta level them to 60 immediately. And
Yeah,
sometimes you'll get a champion, you're like, this is what I've been waiting for. I got all the resources. Let's go. And these latest ones, I'm just like, I've got champions that do this. And where am I going to use this guy? So I don't know. Like I would even consider making a second bad L now that I have a second one of him. But I'm like, what's the use case for that? I've seen some pretty fast like dragon teams with him and stuff like that, double bad L. But
he
I don't know.
can
I was thinking
do
Rosh card maybe.
double bad L can do ice golem
Okay.
25s between them.
Okay.
I've got
Cool.
I've actually got a video with Ryan doing 21 solo bad L,
Okay.
which is quite good fun. Um,
Nice.
it's just such a
Yeah, I
beautiful
just made
counter.
mine relatively quick with a relentless set, and the guy just does amazing stuff.
I love him.
Yeah, he's so good. I mean, he's one of those game-changing champions that when you get him, you're just like you got immediate uses for this dude.
Are you farming dragon with him on solo as your where you farm up resources, or are you still doing campaign?
Um, no, you mean which dungeon levels do I farm for like dragon and stuff?
No. So when you want to level up food, are you using the campaign, or are you going
I get it.
him in dragon?
Yeah, I use the campaign because my Ava is so fast. I can clear so many waves in the time that it takes me to beat one dungeon.
Yeah.
That I'm basically farming silver essentially at the same time by doing it that way. So I'm like really big on efficiency, and as a matter of fact, even this fact that I have two over 30 right now is bugging me. So I'm just gonna,
Burn some energy, mate. It's all good.
yeah, I like the fact that when I see that, I'm just like, all right, it's motivation. I'm gonna get in there and go do something. I'm all about energy usage and letting that stuff generate over time, so I'm not wasting it. This was one of my recent accomplishments here, just getting all
Oh, mate,
gold. You've
that's
been working
nice.
hard at this. Yeah, yeah, it's been a grind. And I'm sitting on over 2,000 medals for our friendly clan versus clan tomorrow.
Yes, I love that. That looks nice. I can see you've not got your accuracy all the way up though. You
No, I didn't because my whole thing was okay, the main champs I'm using primarily in most of my waves, most of my dungeons are all a lot of voids, and then the magic. And
yeah,
then these ones, I'm like, I'll focus on getting all my void stuff, and that's kind of one of my initial thoughts here. I'm gonna go all my voids to 10. Just I want those champs to be my strongest champs. I mean,
yeah.
across the board. And then I'll do the same for magic, and then I'll start working on spirit and force and that kind of thing. But that's just kind of how I'm playing it. But I don't know if you have a better idea. I'd be open for suggestions.
So for me, it's just about maths. You know me. I'm a maths guy. When I look at if you do a 10 in the crit damage, it's 25%, right? Which
Yep.
let's be reasonable. You could probably get with a good triple roll.
Yep.
7, 14, 21, roughly. Um,
Yeah.
in order to get 80 resistance or 80 accuracy, you need 2 quad rolls.
Right.
Okay, so other than a banner, if you have a banner plus your great haul of 80, and then you have some accuracy off the first lot of trees in your masteries, you can be at 200 accuracy before you've done anything else. Then you add, perception set or something else. It's actually really easy, and the same with resistance, because you can put resistance banner on if you want to. You'll be able to hit 300 resistance or 300 accuracy.
Right.
Um, Without having to use loads of because you obviously have your amulet where you can get those stats. You don't have to
Right.
go and get those triple rolls on pieces of gear for your general wave content. Yeah, we both know high end Doom Tower, we're going to need more than 300 accuracy, right? And if we're going to be competing in Platinum Arena, fair enough. But if I just want to build a general champion out, and not just for you, but all of the people might be watching, I don't have to go, how am I going to get? I need to be in 2 perception sets or 3 perception sets. It allows me to have that reflex set, that savage set on
Yeah,
those
that's
champions
true.
that want it.
Yep. No, that makes sense. Yeah, initially my thought was I'm going to go complete all of accuracy, then I was going to do all of crit, and then I started feeling like resistance was pretty high on the list because as we were progressing through those hard stages of Doom Towers, I was like getting locked up. I was getting debuffs thrown on me that typically at the lower stages, I wasn't getting debuffed like that. So I'm like, man, this resistance is becoming more of an issue now. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should start focusing on that. But that's why I just was like, I'm going left or right to left here and across the board on my primary champions. So we were talking about that spreadsheet. Let me see if I can pull that up for you here. I'll
Yeah,
just see what we got.
you may have to change what screen you're sharing. I'm the same though. I'm
Okay.
I'm now trying to boost my resistance up massively. Just for this.
Yeah.
What is it? You have to. I think you have to hit 300 and you need 370 accuracy and 410 resistance on every champion to be able to ignore all of the effects through the whole of Doom Tower.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So I kind of have it split up, and what I've done here is DT 1.0 and Doom Tower 2.0. And so 1.0, I'm calling the first iteration, which is the very first, Doom Tower that ever came out prior to the Griffin and all that.
Yeah.
So I really started keeping track as the way it started getting harder. So I really felt like 60 and beyond is where it starts getting interesting.
Yep.
And so I started keeping track around here. This one took me 46 minutes the first time I ever did it. And then the second time, so I'll just basically add a column or a row and put in my H2. So that's what I have, like 60 hard, 60 hard. Second time around, I dropped down to 16 minutes just by taking out Maneater, and he was worthless anyway, like, for that, obviously. And just 2 slight changes, and bam, I'm down to 15 minutes or less, almost here. But
Bit of the
yeah,
triple OP then, yeah. That was
yeah,
solid.
absolutely. And in my Scylla, I didn't build a lot of the content creators. I didn't put her in a stun set. I got her with War Master and I think she's in Relentless as well. So
Yeah.
she actually does some nice damage.
I'm a little bit upset. I had to pull my relentless set off her in order to put it on Razin for my new clan boss game.
Ah, yeah. Yeah. So as you see, we go down here, like my times are getting better every time I go at it,
Yeah.
pretty much. So like this one where I was using Elegias, and I don't even know why I was like hot on Maneater the first time around, and he's just doing nothing for me. Um,
This is a
yeah,
block debuff, right?
yeah, exactly. Because again, that resistance, going back to that, you're just getting screwed by or locked down by these damn debuffs. But yeah, so going on down, let's just go to the end of the thing where it's getting real interesting. And then, originally when Doom Tower first came out, they weren't tracking turns. So I
Yeah.
actually had to add a column for the turns once that changed. So now I've gone through it 3 times, and you can see the first time, let's see here, where I got stopped out. I'm trying to think. Let's see. I got the 108 the first time. I felt like I got to like,
Yeah, let's say 108, 109, right? What's that there?
yeah, yep. 108 is where I got stopped out on the
Yeah.
first time through. Yep. And then I beat it second and third time and so on and so forth on down the line. And I think second time here, looks like I got stopped out at 112. And this was nasty because I basically had to put notes in here on what I was doing to complete it, right? So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I target click certain champions to take them out first, or maybe I manual first or certain waves. But what I found most recently is that if I can just manual the last part of each wave and just have all my cooldowns back to fully cooled down going into the next wave,
Yeah.
usually I can just auto it from there. But some of these are like siffies, multiple siffies, and that kind of stuff. You're just like, damn, you just got to basically kill those damn siffies if you want to even beat the waves.
Oh yeah, totally on it. I'm stuck at. I think I was stuck at 10, like 109, 10 something on that first one, but I can't get past the latest one.
Okay.
I'm
So
struggling
we're
with
on
the
this
waves.
this one
Yeah.
right now, the 1.0. So if you got stopped out on 109, that's the one with Mortu.
Yeah. Double more
Yeah.
two, and I didn't. My accuracy wasn't good enough on my champions, so I'd like Tormund would go off and then just not click, not um provoke them, and you're like, oh
Right.
no. At this point, you just straight, you just
Yeah.
like, oh, I've got 1 in 5 chance of the first two. They just auto proc and kill two champions, and you're like, yeah,
Yeah, and even though I've been able to beat it, there's still not 100% runs. Even like I'll go, this will be number 4 now, I guess, for this Doom Tower mode, and I'm certain I'll get to some of these hard levels at the top, and I'll have to redo them 2 and 3 times before my team actually beats them, because a lot of it is RNG. It's especially when you're up against those damn Mortus. If he can just not get stunned or not take that provoke, or however you're trying to lock him down, and he just whoops your ass. It's like, so yeah, you could really get into some really tough stuff at the top.
Well, I've been finding, and you've got Basher, right? If you have a
Yep.
fast enough Basher, you can
Hmm.
lock all their skills and cooldown, and obviously
Yeah.
Warlord would be the perfect champion to do it with. But it would,
Yeah, and only Orion's got him, or Orion, but
yeah.
I don't have that dude, man. His is decked out too. He's got like over 300 and some speed on him too, I think, right?
I think it's 400 accuracy and 292 speed, but either way, it always goes
Yeah.
first, and they're always locked down. And you're like, yeah, easy mode then.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, it was cool to see him finally beat it for the first time recently, because ironically, that second iteration of Doom Tower is the one that I was able to beat first. I couldn't beat that 1.0 up until maybe two ago or whatever it was, but this was the first one I ever beat, and I was getting stuck here toward the top, and this Underpriest Brogny guy was just so key for my account. I mean, he's just so good. So if those of you who didn't get that guy, man, I mean, I pity you because he's just incredible. I mean, he helped me so much through those final waves of the hard mode of Doom Tower. As you can see there, he's like literally on every one of my teams.
Yeah. I'm looking, under Priest Bogny, Lydia the Death Siren, Tormund the Cold. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
that looks a bit like my teams.
yeah, absolutely. And you really truly need like that crowd control, like we talked about Torment in a stun set. That's so clutch, especially on these Doom Tower phases waves where you just have to lock them up, otherwise you're dead. There's no getting around it.
It's interesting to see you got Cantra there.
Yeah, I tried her for a bit when I first went through, and I actually liked her, but she's just not as powerful. She's not as doing as much damage output.
Fair
But
enough.
what you have with Contra is that she heals herself, and she's got all these great debuffs. and this AoE stuff. And so that was the first person I was able to throw in a team and figure it out. But obviously, you see the time difference here when I switched out, put Martyr and Bad L in for those two. And nothing else changed but these two champions, and my time dropped to a third of what the original time was.
Martyr OP, that's all I can say.
Yeah, Martyr's just an amazing champion. I mean, it was crazy on my account where I got Martyr one week and then Raglan the next week, and it was like two game changing champions in like a 2 week period of time. I was like, yeah. And that's just how this game goes. I mean, you'll go on cold spells for months, it seems like, where you just get garbage champions or none at all, or dupes or whatever, and you're just like, damn, this is terrible. But then you get that one lucky pull, and you're like, yeah, let's go.
We was finding it like, I know I'm in the top clan now, but there was a point where we were going to go from brutal to, or I think it was, yeah, brutal to night ultra nightmare, and I could only like 4-key brutal, and then I had a weekend where I pulled Martyr and Nama in the same
Oh, nice.
weekend, and then I'm like, I'm the only one doing ultra nightmare in the clan. So
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, that's just the power of certain champions in this game. It's
yeah,
that, and the thing is that for me being a player now for quite some time, I just feel like there's so many champions, and it's like the champion pool is just so diluted, and there's just such a chance for you to pull just a trash champion. There's somebody that's just useless for your account, and you're always going for those certain champions, but it's like if you don't get them, you walk away disappointed or feeling defeated. It's just, I don't know, but the rush you have when you pull that one champion you want, that's special.
yeah, we're all looking for Draco. Although, like, to be fair, I'm doing Bat Eater now with Razin, so
Yeah, I saw that. How it looks like it's working out pretty well for you.
yeah, it's 2-key Ultra Nightmare with,
Nice.
it does about 45 to 50 million unless it's I think it's Spirit again, because Razin doesn't hit his defense down on weaken, and then 1-key Brutal, 1-key Nightmare.
Yeah. Let's see. I've always switched between Fane and what's her name? The blue rare chick, the poisoner. And
Frozen
so I
Banshee.
always have my, what's that? I'm sorry?
Frozen Banshee.
Yeah, Frozen Banshee. So that's how I run my Bat Eater. But I definitely have got a 2-key setup, and frankly, I don't even mess with it. Like I would love to get to this 1-key status, but I mean, even if you get there, yeah, okay, now I can go do hard. Like what do you get from that chest? I mean, rarely anything good, I assume, but yeah, so my 1-key, I guess I should just run this. Why not? Because that's pretty typical. I'm usually between 40 mil, depending on affinity, and somewhere in the around 48, I guess, on my clan
Yeah,
boss.
I think
And I did recently put Painkeeper in a toxic set, so that gave me a few more mills.
nice. I'm assuming, looking at your build, they're not all in 100% crit rate.
Yeah, for the most part. So if we play long enough here, I'll just show you what the end results are. But yeah, there's one of my man eaters I think that doesn't have 100% crit rate, but overall I think my man eaters are doing around 5 mil, and everybody else is 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
so yeah, we could go ahead. What's up?
I got one of my man eaters doing 10 million. Quite
Oh,
annoying.
nice.
It's the slow one, not the fast one. I don't have the speed gear to do it in there, but because he's got attack up on him and his A2, this is the key. His A2 is like a 12% ratio of damage on his attack. So if you get the A2 booked and you prioritize it, he can do some silly numbers. He can hit for like 300 or 400,000 off a single
Nice.
hit.
Yeah, I should probably go back in and tweak my builds because honestly, I mean, when I built this team, it has to be several months ago now when I was able to build this team out. So I'm sure I've got some pretty weak gear that I could upgrade at this point. As a matter of fact, I've got to do a full gear cleanse, man. I'm always running out of gear space in my inventory, man. It's just annoying. It's
I
like I got to constantly go through it almost every day anymore.
know the feeling. You're like, oh, do I want to keep this piece? It could be good, but no, just get rid of it.
Yeah, I find that if I get like one roll on speed, I'm like, yeah, I might use that later, and then it'll sit in my freaking vault forever. I'm like, all right, it's time to get rid of this thing. I'm never gonna use this.
That's the stage I'm at now, where I've just beat faction wars, and pulling gear all over the place, building up random things. I'm like, I need to settle myself down. I need to build two or three. I need to build a clan boss team that does 2 key because I was struggling with weird random resets, and I wanted to get rid of Marta so I can build her up for Doom Tower.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm going to go through. I'm going to build a arena team and leave it. I'm going to build a clan boss team and leave it. I'm going to build a spider team and leave it.
Yep. Yep. And that's what you do once you beat Faction Wars as well. Yeah, man, that's exactly how I did it, uh, to a T. So now I know exactly where you're at, your stage of the game. Now it's beat that Doom Tower, dude. You gotta.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the challenge now, right?
I definitely know. I just need to get some more gear under my like end game gear because before you get that point where I'm satisfied with not quite end game gear. I've got like epic pieces or I've got rare 5-star pieces. So I know I'm going to be sat in Fire, Knight, and Dragon and just farming everything before. Whereas before it was like Masteries and Champion EXP and stuff like that. So
Yeah, absolutely. I found that recently I'm starting to finally be able to build up a little bank of silver because I noticed that up until probably about a month or so ago, every time there was an artifact enhancement event, I'd be well under 10 mil at the end of that, sometimes 5 mil or even less, depending on what I was sitting at going into that thing. And
yeah,
now I'm finishing them out and I'm right around 20 mil when they're done. So I'm like, okay, I see progress there, which is nice because I'm hoping to get to that point where I just don't even have to worry about silver anymore because that's always been the struggle in this game, right?
it's the most limiting resource by far. I'm sat on
Oh yeah.
6 mil. I
Yeah.
factual. You're trying to cobble together teams of like 2 or 3 million, and then there's 3 teams to do. You're like, no. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
getting
and the fact that they put a silver cost to literally everything in this game is honestly just annoying. Like, I mean, if you're gonna have to pay to pull shards, what's up with that? Like, honestly, why? If you have the shards, I'm gonna pull a sacred shard, which is arguably, obviously the hardest shard to get in the game, but I gotta pay silver on top of that. Like,
yeah.
what's up with that? That doesn't make any sense.
It's just the cost for everything is so much.
Yeah, the energy costs. I mean, that's why. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that will laugh at this, but I still farm 20 dungeons because I just am like they're fast for me. They don't cost as much energy for me, and for tournament placement, I place top two, top three just by just doing 20s,
Yeah,
and it's like I'm looking to sell most of that gear anyway, and if I'm going to farm a 24, spend the extra money or I should say the extra energy, I don't feel like I'm getting all that much better gear. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm still getting 5-star rare crap. So I might as well just keep sticking with the 20s. And maybe eventually I'll get crazy and I'll build out some nice teams that do it sub 1 minute or whatever on my 24s or whatever. But at this stage, I'm just like I'm staying with 20s, especially Spider 20 because my Spider 20 team is just so damn fast. I'm like, I don't even mess with the others.
Spider's oddly the one I do 24 at, but I have a 30-second team, so um,
Oh, nice.
it's just
And who do you use for that?
so I have Tyrant, uh,
Mm-hmm.
two Cold Hearts, Miscreate Monster, and Lydia.
Okay.
So you set up with the new AI thing, you set it up so that Cold Heart don't do their silly A2.
Right.
and I put one of them on a 1 turn delay of their A3.
Okay.
And they're both everyone's like 200 speed plus. So Lydia goes first, puts her AoE defense down on. Miscreate Monster puts a massive fuck up shield. Everyone gets HP burned, and then cold, because of the way the cold hearts the time, they reduce his turn meter by half, which means that the spiderlings just completely burn through the boss before it gets to go.
Nice. That's a good strat. I like that.
And
Yeah, because I was thinking, do I want to build out my Sisia Flame Tongue and try to, do the. I have Tyrant, but I'm thinking, I have beaten all those. I've beat 24, 25, no problem. But again, my nuke strat with my Septimus is still so dang fast on 20. I'm just like dropping that spider. I think I'm 14 seconds or something crazy
yeah,
like that. It's just fast, and I'm like, okay, I can crank out so many of these in no time flat. Might as well just stick with it.
otherwise I farm 20 as well. Like I think my finite team for 25 is 5 minutes or something. It's just not worth it.
Yeah,
I can do
exactly.
I can do dragon in a minute 10 seconds, or I can do dragon in 2 minutes and something, and just why would I bother?
Yeah, exactly.
I think if they would
Yeah,
have put it that there were no rares in 25, would that change things for you?
no rares in 25.
So
Yeah, that would definitely change things for me. I would certainly farm 24 and 25 or just straight up 25 if they would drop the rares out of the pool.
I think like that for me feels at that point it's worth it, because I don't
Yeah.
get so many rares that you're like, no, it's a 5-star rare. God, I'm at that
Yeah,
point.
and
I'm
that's
only taking
exactly
six
my
stars
point I
now.
was making earlier. It's like if I'm still getting 5-star rares at all, then to me it's a waste. It's a waste of
Yeah.
resources. Yeah. So I
So
agree. I totally agree with you on that. I think that needs to happen. I mean, that'd be amazing.
I don't know whether they will though, because probably loads of their whales just buy energy, and I farm a million of them.
Yeah. Yeah, truly. But the other thing that's just annoying as all hell is getting the damn green shards to drop on the dungeons as well as beers. It's like, why? What's up with this? I mean, get these freaking things out of here. I get enough of those damn things doing campaign, but I mean, not the beers, but the stupid green
Mystery
shards.
shards.
I'm like, dude, that's ridiculous. Like I said the other day in chat, I'm like, I'm officially done buying green shards in the shop. I'm like, and it's just was always a habit of mine. I just like, oh, green shard, I'm buying it, 5,000, whatever.
Yeah,
And then I'm like, this is just stupid, dude. Like, what? I've got 8 freaking thousand of these things, and there's every day you're forced to buy something in the shop anyway. So if I just buy one a day and I get them from campaign, I mean, there's no point.
yeah. I mean, what you do like a 10 pot each day just because you're lazy and can't be bothered to press the button 3 times, or
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Because I know I'm getting at least 30 or 40 if I'm doing campaign.
yeah.
So it is what it is.
I'd had enough, and I think when we were having that conversation, I went and pulled like 3,000 of them in order to
Did
get their
you?
legend. Yeah, because it was just like I had no rares left for food,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, well, the chances are I can just get enough of these rares. So I just pulled loads and loads and loads of green shards, kept only the rares, fed all the white and greens into stuff, and I've now got some food for a couple more weeks or something. It was a ball ache, trust me. My hand
Oh
is
yeah.
halfway through. I'm like, I think I might go and cry in the corner.
Yeah, you're just
I,
leveling them up, feeding. Oh God, yeah, that's monotonous.
I had an ulterior motive though, that I needed 2 legendary books for Lydia, so it's like
Ah,
this is why I'm doing it, to finish Lydia's legendary books.
yeah. Did you do what I did and you basically booked her out before you ascended her all the way so that you didn't have to book those last two on her final passive?
No, um,
No.
no, I was so excited just to get her up and going. So the day I had 5 chickens waiting,
I had the ascensions and all the gear. So she was 6-star geared and mastered at level 116 before I'd done a 10 minutes after
Yeah.
I'd got her.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then she was in my arena team 30 minutes later. It's just like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've been
Oh
looking
yeah.
forward to this champion for a while. This is because I've been sat. I don't think I'm trying to remember the last time I had a. You say you wait a while and you get a big champion.
Mhm.
I don't know the last time I'd had a big champion and I was sat on about 15 or so 5-star chickens. And it's just, I'm going to
Yeah.
do this. I'm going to get this one. This is my new toy. Now she runs everything for me.
Oh no, she's just so great. I don't know if there's another champion in the game. I mean, even Arbiter isn't as I feel as good as Lydia. I mean, she's got her limited uses, but Lydia, you can almost use her everywhere.
Yeah. I pretty much only use arbiters and I've got a few of them in either 3v3 or arena. And
Yeah, exactly. And I do at times if I'm running waves in Doom Tower, try to get those fast times, just to kind of put those buffs up there and then have Seer strip them off and
yeah,
go quick. But that's about the only other place I use her.
I'm um I'm looking to build a team for Doom Tower that doesn't need to go because I think it's 263 or 64 speed, and you go above everyone. So
Nice.
that's what I'm trying to build. One wave team which is 264. Build a couple of boss teams. So you need a specific team for the ice golem boss or not ice golem, the ice spider, or a specific team for magma dragon.
Mm.
Specific team for Scarab so that I can go much like your spreadsheet. Probably a really good idea for all of us, the rest of us. Take the spreadsheet, know that this is the champion I've got, know that champion I'm never touching their gear again.
Yeah.
Now that I'm at
Yep.
that point in the game I can, which is a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
Get this champion. If I had a Burgess or whatever it is, he would have done my Scarab, but I'm gonna take this boss a new one anyway.
Yeah.
Let's take it from there.
That's a good call. Yep. That's what you got to do at this stage. I mean, my question is where do we go from here? Because now that you're end game, I mean, I feel like if you get Lydia, you can say that you're end game. I
Yeah,
mean, I just feel that at this point, especially because you're getting up to the higher floors of the Doom Tower as well. So that's kind of a testament to where your account is at. But after this, it's just kind of monotonous. It's like you're just grinding out, hoping to get that next great champion. But then even when you get that next great champion, what do you do with them? Like it's all about improving your times, I guess, in the places that you're spending most of your time. But hopefully there's going to be some more great content soon because I think the player base is starting to get a little frustrated because I know there's guys way past where we're at in this game. They've probably been playing since day one and wailed out 10 times more than either of us. But I mean, what are they doing? Some of them are just done with it, it seems like.
well, Manable is one. Manable finished the game 6 months ago. He's not really playing anymore. Doesn't need to. He was doing a YouTube. He was a big content creator. He's no longer even doing that. I think last.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's funny you brought him up. I was just thinking about him the other day because I used to watch a lot of his content, and I'm like, I haven't seen a Manable video in a while, and I didn't know that actually. I just never made that assumption, but that's interesting. I can see why. I mean, once you get to that point where you're just crushing everything, and you've got these insane teams and crazy gear, what else is there?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm fortunate enough to be in this community, right, with you guys and the rest of GCs. That's what the game is for me at the moment. I
Yeah,
enjoy doing the clan boss. Getting that leveling that up. That's my dick. I love working on times. I'm probably going to work on an non-unkillable comp that does one keep, just because that's where my game I enjoy the fun from. Or,
yeah,
but yeah, it would be nice to see some new content for sure.
yeah, absolutely. Have you heard anything about that new tower that's just kind of chilling there off to the side of campaign?
Not
What
yet.
that's going to be?
Um,
Okay.
we would love something with a library for books, right? But
Yeah.
no, unfortunately, I haven't heard anything, which is a shame.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, I know Ash has been pushing for that to be like a silver farming tower, or he says like a book farming place or something like that. But that, I mean, yeah, that's the one thing that I think so many of us have yet to do is book out all these great champions. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm struggling every time I get a book. I'm like, well, where am I going to spend this book now? Uh, so I still have like 50 plus unbooked champions that I'd like to book, you know. So there was a 50 mil. That's not bad. That's pretty good for oh my God, look at this overflow gear.
Well, that looks like fun times. Enjoy doing
Oh
that. Well,
gosh, man.
we've run for 45 minutes, so I'm going to ask you last question and then take it from
Yeah.
there for the things. Who would you say is? I love doing this. Is who's your favorite champion and why? Like personal meaning to you. You know, mine obviously is Martyr, and people know that. Who would you say is
Yeah.
yours?
I feel Torment is my number one at this stage in the game just because of what he was able to do for my account. I mean, just being able to lock down players in the arena, lock them down in the Doom Tower. You saw my spreadsheet. He was basically a key player on all those waves. And I'll just till the day I die, I'll say if you put that dude in a stun set and you get some good stats going, you're rocking. I mean, my Tormund's he's still could be built out even better. And I know I could get his crit rate up. I mean, I'm still feeling like I do good damage with this guy, and I don't even have 100% crit rate or crazy crit damage. You know, so uh, I just love him. I mean, people use their buffs and he freezes them up, you know, randomly and that kind of stuff. But I'm sure there's other people out there that don't love him as much as I do. But I just think he's awesome. I mean, he's formidable on a defense team for Arena. People don't even want to mess with you if they don't have him, and
Yeah,
um, it's just he's a fun player. I just like him a lot.
I do have to say thank you for the stun set idea. That's definitely helped my account out because I don't know, I think I had a general build and then you said put a stun set on him and he does work.
Yeah. So here's my Torment stats right now, if you can see that. But
Yeah.
strong accuracy, you know, reasonable resistance, nothing crazy. Again, a terrible crit rate. I mean, I was looking at his gear today. I'm like, I have a better pair of gloves out there than what I have him in, but he's just so tanky. I mean, 71k HP, strong defense, good speeds. He doesn't go down very easily, and that's what I like about him. He's just then he revives himself on top of that, which is like, uh,
No. Another.
have you ever gone your Tormund versus another Tormund
Oh,
in arena, and it's just like the endless fight? They're just
yeah,
reviving every so many turns. It's like, all
yeah.
right, I gotta skip this, or it's gonna be here for 48 hours, you know?
Lydia's the key. You keep-
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Well, if let's say everybody wipes out, you know, all the teammates but the two Torments, I've gotten to that situation before. It's just Torment v Torment and
yeah.
one on one, and nobody wins. It's crazy. But yeah, I have a lot of fun. This is a guy that I've recently started to think is pretty cool. I used him today on the Magma Dragon, and he actually throws back the Hex Bucks buff on the dragon, which is super cool. I was like, no, that's sweet. But then he throws back the HP burn that
And
Brogni was
that's
throwing down, and I'm like,
uh-oh.
yeah, I don't like that so much. But um, yeah, I guess I'll have to rework that team. But here's another guy. I've got all his masteries, but I haven't put a single book on him. And I'm thinking he'd be so much better with books, right?
It's always the way. Get those legendary books.
Yeah, yeah. So I think I have like 18 or something right now. 23 because I got a bunch doing that champion chase.
Nice. Well, we say goodbye to everyone. Thank you for joining me. I will invite you to come and join us in the off topic chat, mate. We chill out with some of the other guys. Introduce if you want.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I appreciate the time today, bud. It's been good to get to know you and have this conversation.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Till next time, take care, everyone.